Both The Division and Ghost Recon Wildlands are Tom Clancy games. They're both open world games, and they are both very, very anticipated. I don't know why they announced that they were actually going to be releasing Ghost Recon Wildlands while they were in the process of getting The Division to be released so soon. It seemed like they were really trying to draw the attention away from The Division with this announcement. But that being said, there is a lot to talk about. They're both open world games, they're both very anticipated. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through these two games and we're going to compare and contrast them. I hope that you all like the video. I hope that you all leave a comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about this. This is The Division versus Ghost Recon Wildlands. Now, The Division is going to be an MMO game. It's going to support multiple players simultaneously in one world map, but there is no information on Ghost Recon doing that. From what I've been seeing from the trailer and other videos so far is that it's going to be a 4-player co-op type of game where you actually will be playing with 4 other players along the way. It's not going to be anything like your Grand Theft Auto, or it's not going to be anything like that, where there's multiple people in one world. Now, there is a big difference between these two games when we're going to be talking about traveling. You'll be able to see in the trailer that in Ghost Recon, you're actually able to get in vehicles, you're able to get in boats, you're able to get in dirt bikes, you're able to get in helicopters, etc., all of that stuff. With it not really announced yet, you can pretty much guarantee that there's going to be a fast travel option in such a massive world. When it comes to The Division, I have read up and I have done some research, and it shows that there is something called the Dumbo Ferry. And what the Dumbo Ferry is it's a fast travel center for all locations within the New York map in The Division. And it's kind of an interesting concept because you can actually see in an actual Google map setting that there is something called the Dumbo Ferry. It actually looks in The Division like it actually does in Google Maps from a sky view. It's really interesting, and it looks like they actually did a lot of effort trying to show people that this game took them a lot of time and they really focused on details. It's really interesting. And if I'm being honest here, I can actually tell you that The Division really doesn't have quite the feel as it does in Ghost Recon Wildlands. Ghost Recon Wildlands seems more of a vehicle-based, where The Division seems more of a, walk, discover, figure out what you're doing on land, rather than driving around. I don't think they made a mistake with not implementing drivable vehicles within The Division. Now we can talk a little bit about release dates as well here. Release dates for these two games are kind of wishy-washy. We all know The Division has had different release dates for the last 3 years. The release date is set right now for March 8th, 2016. And all they're saying about Ghost Recon Wildlands is it's going to be released in 2016, which gives them a huge buffer zone for the release date of this game. The official release date has not been announced. I don't plan them on announcing it anytime soon. I wouldn't be surprised if this game gets pushed into 2017, honestly. Now we can take a look at some of the footage within the game here, so you can get a better feel of what the atmospheres are like within these games. This is what really gets me excited about Ghost Recon here, is that you have towns, you have swamps, you have open plains, you have roadways, and much more along with that, whereas the atmosphere of The Division is simply the cold city of New York, which is not a bad thing again. I'm not saying that the cold, snowy New York setting is worse. It looks perfect. They did what they wanted to do with that game, and they nailed it. They nailed it from what I'm seeing. I know that there has been some graphic drops in the game to support different consoles. The setting of the New York scene is simply amazing. I absolutely love it, and I don't think that they should change it in any way. It is perfect. Now finally, I can say that these games are both made by Ubisoft, but you need to understand that these games are going to be competing. One game is not like a racing game, and one game is not like a shooter game. They're both shooter games, and they are very similar in many ways, so these are going to be competing. All the money might be going in the same Ubisoft pot, but the developers are going to be button heads because they want one game to be better than the other. Even though these developers work for the same company, these developers are going to want to be better than these developers for the simple thing of money, of course, but you can't complain. Ubisoft makes great games. The open world aspect of their games they're going to be amazing in 2016. 2016 holds great games coming from Ubisoft. I'm not going to complain about it. I'm going to be picking up both of them. Personally, I think that Ghost Recon is going to be a little bit of a better game. That's just because of the different scenes that you can go into. I'm not saying that The Division is worse. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just saying that I personally think that Ghost Recon Wildlands is going to be a little bit of a better game. Now, I can't say that until I play them both 100%, but I definitely am going to be picking up The Division. I'm not going to skip out on that game at all. It's going to be great. It's going to be the game that people are going to be playing until Ghost Recon comes out, because Ghost Recon is definitely going to be coming out after The Division. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative for you. Leave a like, leave a subscription for me. It really helps me out, guys. I hope you all have a beautiful day. See you later.